Hello, Miss Perry here. Today we're going to talk about adding integers. We're going to do it a couple of ways. I'll show you guys how to do it on a number line, and then how that relates to maybe the rules that we've been taught in the past. All right. So, um, just as a quick review, when we talk about integers, we look on a number line. Let's say we put 0 in the middle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, and then we go this way. These are negative, right? So 0 is kind of our neutral point, but when we go to the right, starting from 0, starting from anywhere, but when we move to the right on a number line, the numbers get bigger. Okay, so their value gets larger. Um, and then when we move to the left, let's do this in this color. When we move to the left, our numbers get smaller, right? This way is positive, right? Our positive numbers go this way, and our negative numbers go this way. So when we talk about wanting to add them together, or I actually like to use the word combine better than adding, because what we're really doing is combining them, and we start mixing up the terms adding, because sometimes we are going to have to subtract. It gets confusing. So I'll say combining integers today. I like that word a little bit better. So when we want to combine two integers together, let's say we want to combine -5 and 7, all right? A couple of ways we can do this is, one way I can show you with a picture is if I do this on a number line, which I'm going to draw very quickly here. So here's 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. There's -5. There's +5. And so what we want to do is, if the numbers are small enough, when I say they're relatively small enough, meaning I can draw a number line for them, this isn't too difficult to do. So if I want to start here at -5, all right, so this is my start. This is where I start. Okay, and adding 5. So if I'm thinking of this as a +7, I'm thinking of this as a +7, then that means I'm going to go in this direction here because it's positive and the numbers get bigger, and I'm going to move 7 spaces. So if I go here, if I start here at -5, I'm going to move 7 spaces. So 1, 2, 3, 4. That's going to be 5. Then I got to move 2 more. That's +7 because I went in that direction right there. And that leaves me at, this is 1 and this is 2, at +2. So my answer is +2. Okay, so what ends up happening here is what we have here is, looks like we had to subtract. And if you start here at 0 and I have to go this way first, which is -5, do you see how these two overlap each other? And that's where the subtraction comes, because those two cancel each other out. And we're really only left with this part right here, which is the +2. So whenever you have two different signs, one negative and one positive, it means your arrows had to go in one direction and then they had to go in another direction, and their parts of it overlap and cancel each other out. And that's why we have some subtraction. Okay, so that's what we would do if they're different signs. Right? So if they're different signs, right? Different signs mean it's going to be overlapping arrows, if you want to think of it that way. And overlapping arrows mean subtract. Okay? So subtract the integers. And then how did I know it was positive? Well, if I look to see which arrow is bigger, in this case, it's my positive arrow is bigger. So we know that the sign has to be positive. So we're just going to keep on going kind of this way. So what we do is, oops, let's do that differently. We want to use the sign of the bigger arrow, right? So in this problem, that was the positive arrow. So we knew it was going to be a positive 2. All right, so it's kind of the way we want to think about these problems. All right, so you guys, so what happens if the signs are the same, right? So what happens when I want to do, this is example 2, let's say we have -3 plus -6, something like that, right? So let's look on a number line. So here's 0. Since they're all negatives, I'm going to put 0 way over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So there's -10. All right, so let's look at this -3 first. So -3, if I'm going 0 to -3, that's 1, 2, 3. And that's in the negative direction. So that's -3. That puts me at -3. And then we need to do, oops, that's not what I wanted to do. Presets. There we go. And then we want to do, we want to combine -6 more. So that means from here, I got to go -6 more. Well, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That stops me right here. And if you're wondering, right, see, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So going in that direction, remember, going to the left is negative. There's -6 more. So that puts me right here, which is not quite at -10, but it puts me at -9. That's our final answer, -9. Okay, that's our answer. So what happens when they have the same sign? When they have the same sign, when they're both negatives, right? Look at how there's no overlapping, right? We just had a negative to here, and then we started from this end point and we went here. No overlapping arrows. Arrows don't overlap. And when they don't overlap, we add our integers together. Right? And then we're still going to use the sign of whatever is the biggest arrow, I guess. But if you can see, we just have negatives and more negatives. It's just going to give me a bigger negative number. So if they're the same sign, we add them because the arrows don't overlap. If we go back to our other example, when these were different signs, we had one that went to the left, and then we had one arrow that goes to the right. They overlap, they cancel each other out, and then that's when we subtract our integers. Okay, so that's kind of the basics of that. What happens when we have 3 integers we want to put together? So, oops, this should be example 3. So when we have 3 integers we want to put together, say like -4 plus 9 plus -2, something like this. With numbers this relatively small, we can do a quick number line if we want. So I'll put 0 in the middle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 4, 5, 6. So there's +5, there's -5. Okay, so we're going to start here at -4, or we're going to go to -4. So I go here, -4 goes to here. So I'm right here. That's -4. But then we have to move +9. So remember, we go where we left off. So if I'm going from here, I'm going to move, well, that was +4, and now I need to do 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's +9, right? You could put those two together and we'd say, oh, just these two together will give me 5. because that's where I ended up here, right? But we still have one more that we have to do. We still have this -2, which means then I've got to go from here and I've got to go over 1, 2 spaces to the left. That's -2, right? 1, 2, that puts me here, which is at 4, that's 3. So the answer is 3. So then we just had 5 plus -2, and you could treat these two as, oh, see how they're different? They overlap. So this part overlaps, so we had to subtract from this 5 to this -2. So you could draw it, or you could still use the rules. Okay, so just to kind of sum things up, okay, when we're adding in, or I just say combining integers. When we're combining integers, combining, oh, I'm spelling that right. Okay, so combining integers. Okay, if they have the same sign, right? If they have the same sign, we're going to add the integers together. Okay, so if they're the same sign, we add the integers together, and then use the sign of the numbers. All right. If they have different signs, okay, we don't want to add, we want to subtract because of those overlapping arrows. And then we're going to use the sign of the larger arrow, or we could say the larger number, which is really, it's the absolute value of that number. Okay, so that's kind of, to sum up the rules in words. Remember, you can always use a number line too to help you. All right, good luck. I think you guys got this. We'll talk to you later.